I lose the die roll. I'm on the draw. And this hand does not have a threat. But it does have 2 discard spells and 2 abrupt decay. I'm also on the draw. And along with perfect mana, Verdant Catacombs can get a white source. This hand is pretty good. I mean, besides the threat, it's a very strong hand. And I think on the draw with the extra card, that this hand is pretty strong. Also, being on the draw, being reactive might be a little bit better. So rather than having Tarmogoyfs and creatures that are turned behind him, I can use Abrupt Decay to get some tempo and hopefully get in control of this game. So this hand is a keep, and we're going to play it out. Looks like my opponent may be playing Burn. He is playing Burn. And he does 2 to me. Here I'm just going to search for a swamp and cast Inquisition. And hopefully I can catch Eidolon of the Great Rebel. I see Lightning Bolt, Skullcrack, and Boros Charm. I could take Lightning Bolt to protect Ooze, but I'm really in a situation where if he bolts Ooze, I'm not opposed to that. I'm fine with him trading Burn for creatures. I'm just going to take the most powerful Burn spell, which is the Boros Charm, and then pass the turn. Now I can use Thoughtseize to essentially gain 1 life. I'm never going to cast Overgrown. I'm never going to play Overgrown Tomb untapped. So he bolts me, which doesn't really make sense. He should let me take Skullcrack. He bolts me again. Alright, I take a Skullcrack. So it makes sense why he did what he did. He just double bolts me, and now he has free reign to play spells. So he certainly doesn't value the utility of keeping Bolt back. He could have just Skullcracked, let me take a Bolt, and then just had a Bolt back. So now I can play Ooze. It's not going to die. It's not going to remove anything, but it could be relevant. And Godless Shrine is great with Lingering Souls. Overgrown Tomb is good with Garrick. It's possible that I draw. I'm going to say that the possibility of me drawing an untapped land for Garrick is more important than me possibly drawing one of the 3 Lingering Souls. So I hit Liliana. Could be good. At this point, I'm just hoping, obviously, that he draws lands. The best use of Liliana here is actually for me to discard a creature and then remove it. Unfortunately, I don't have that option. Searing Blaze. So, luckily that just does 1 damage. I'll discard Abrupt Decay. I'll play Godless Shrine. And I could leave the Ooze back to block a Goblin Guide. I'd rather attack, and if he does have a guide, I could kill it with Liliana and remove it. And I need to start dealing damage. Alright, he does land pass. So I'm going to attack him. And I don't draw creatures, so I can't discard it. What I can do is play Garrick and make a token. Token's a great blocker as well. Tectonic Edge I could use to kill Clifftop, but that's really not going to prevent him from playing anything. He probably doesn't have any 4s. I'll just make a beast. And in fact, I'm actually going to just keep that Tectonic Edge in hand and just start taking up Liliana. I could play the Tech Edge and then not take up Liliana, but I suppose there's no reason not to. Alright, there's Treetop Village. And in this situation, I'll play the Treetop, make a beast, and I'm comfortable taking up Liliana here. Luckily, I get another land, and I attack him. So I'm going to assume that Abrupt Decay I had very little value, with the beast as the blocker, Liliana to kill a creature. So I'd rather just tick it up. And I have no problem just getting rid of 2 lands here, and maybe turning off and out, like Flame Javelin or Flames of the Bloodhand. Fortunately, he drew the 4. I had him dead. I had 11 points in play, but he did hit the burn spell. So that's that. Maybe he'll misclick and kill Planeswalker, but lost that one. There's really nothing I could have done. There happened to be no creatures for Scavenging Ooze, and none possibly. Could have killed the ooze itself, but then it couldn't remove itself. So that's a tough one. Bring in the Timely Reinforcements. Bring in the Baloth. Bring in the Thrun. I can cut all the Dark Confidant. I'm going to bring in Fulminator because it's a threat, and he actually has white. And I'm going to cut a pair of Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is a little bit better against him because he has Boros Charm, so it's more likely I gain some life. And I'll go with this. Dismember is not impressive, but it could be good. And I don't like the idea of Dark Blast. And Explosives is not very impressive. I'll just lean on Maelstrom Pulse, so I'll submit this. And even Mind Sensor is decent, but it's obviously very underpowered. And I saw Searing Blaze as well. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I'm going to lead with a Swamp. I want to cast Inquisition to make sure he doesn't have a Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide being one of his best cards against me. Really one of the best cards against every opponent. Goblin Guide is really good in the burn deck. The new Eidolon of the Great Revel is also quite good. Unfortunately, Magic Online kind of lagged out there, and I just clicked. I didn't really see what he had. I think he had I saw a Boros Charm. I hope he didn't have a Goblin Guide. That really sucks. Yeah, and I don't even know what he has. Well, we'll see here. Thoughtseize. Lavamancer. 2 more Skull Cracks. Oh, it was a Helix, not a Boros Charm. All right, so looks like I would have just taken the Helix, and then I suppose this one could take Skullcrack. Lavamancer I'm all right with because of Liliana. So in the end, that misclick with the Inquisition was not relevant, which makes me happy. I think he should have played the Lavamancer, but I'm quite happy he didn't, and I'll pass. Now if he plays Lavamancer, Liliana will gladly kill it. Otherwise, Fulminator is going to come down. Actually, the play for me is Liliana here. Tick it up. Start getting his hand immediately, and then if he kills Liliana, that would be ideal for me. He Boros charms me, so he's not looking to kill Liliana. And I'll let the slaughter pack go. If he plays a creature, I'm fine taking the damage and then killing it with Liliana or overpowering it. So here, I'll discard Abrupt Decay. And then I'll play Fulminator and kill a land. Another Boros Charm. It's impressive. So, yeah, Fulminator's correct. I could play the... So he has a Skullcrack. I could play Ooze. Let him bring me to 3. And then... I like the Fulminator because if he doesn't draw land, I dominate him. Basically, I could play Ooze and then gain a life next turn. If I draw a forest, I could still do that. I think this is fine. This is a little bit risky, but it plays to win the game more. And I like that. So Lavamancer. So here I'll just make him sack. And leave him with that Skullcrack still. And now I can play the Ooze. Ooze more relevant than the Goyf just because every life point here is worth more than a Tarmogoyf hit. So here, each discard, I can get rid of the Ooze now because I already have one. I don't know if that's true. I think I'm going to be using Ooze every single turn if I can. And if he does kill it, then I guess I want the other one. So, yeah, I'll discard the Ooze. And I'll remove his Lavamancer. And attack him. I also could have played an Ooze. In this spot, I'll play Ooze. There's no way he can kill me if I don't gain a life. He could deal 3 here and then draw only 3 damage. And a Baloth. Well, I'm going to show it to him. I'm going to discard it too. Don't need to cast it. And here, I think it's better to remove with the second Ooze. I'll remove his other Lavamancer. Obviously, I'm not going to take 4. I'm just going to make him sack and kill him. Alright, so we go to sideboarding. So here, I could consider the Engineered Explosives. He does have some 1-drops. And it's very possible that that's better than Maelstrom Pulse. So I'm going to make that swap. And beyond that, I'm just going to let it go. Actually, since I saw the Lavamancer, I think actually Dark Blast is alright. And I'm going to cut the other Pulse. They're a bit slow, especially on the draw. I'm going to make my deck a little bit better. Dark Blast might be able to steal the game. Unlikely, but it could definitely contain his Lavamancers. And Maelstrom Pulse is probably just going to kill a Lavamancer, so having Dark Blast makes a lot more sense. Thrawn is good as just to have a threat, as is Baloth, but of course that's life gain. And then Timely Reinforcements is the best card for me to see. Lingering Souls is decent because it puts down a quick threat over the course of a few turns. And one card does a good amount of damage, but it's not too quick. Really, Tarmogoyf is the go-to creature. If I can get a quick Goyf and then disrupt him, I could steal a game. But for the most part, this is about playing carefully, making sure I don't take too much damage from my lands, and hoping that he doesn't draw super well. Because if he has a strong draw, there's not much I can do. The only thing I can do to really play against it is to do everything in my power to prevent him from dealing any damage. And beyond that, I need to be as aggressive as I possibly can. And also, I want to constrain any number of his resources that I can, such as taking down his lands like I did last game, or using Liliana to get rid of his cards. If I kind of think of him as playing a combo deck, the matchup kind of clears out. Basically, he's a combo deck that needs to put together points of burn. And the main thing I can do is not help him by not ever shocking myself. It's very difficult to play around fetch lands. Usually if I have a fetch land, I'm going to need it. But there are times where I could avoid using fetch lands, and that could be relevant too. So hopefully he will submit here, and we can get going on game 3. I'm certainly getting a lot of experience against Burn today, and I'm glad to get it. I am going to play a PTQ this weekend, actually. Play a little bit of Modern in some Paper Magic, and I'm going to play this deck. And I expect there will be a little bit of Burn there. And also Burn is huge on Magic Online, so anytime playing Modern on Magic Online, Burn is important to keep in mind. So I have not seen any Eidolon of the Great Rebels yet, which is nice, because I'm not looking forward to that card. Though I suppose, playing my deck, I have plenty of outs to it. Holding it off with creatures is the best plan. And this one's a keep. This is not a great hand, but it is a fine hand. I have removal, I have the ooze. And I have Fulminator, so that could be relevant. Fulminator is also nice because it's a creature to get in the graveyard for ooze. My play next turn is going to be to search for a forest and play an ooze. And the next turn, I will probably play the next ooze or use Fulminator Mage. Dismember is obviously not a great card against Burn, but it's a bit more flexible than Pulse. And in the face of a Goblin Guide, using Dismember is actually usually better than taking the damage. Alright, Overgrown Tomb is actually a pretty good draw. Overgrown Tomb completes my mana. Would have liked to see Woodland Cemetery, obviously. But it's probably better than a forest and better than a swamp. There's that Eidolon. Well, definitely do not want to dismember that. Really don't want to Abrupt Decay it. I think my best play is... Well, I don't want to play the Overgrown Tomb untapped either. I'd be fine trading. I could decay, attack. I could... Well, actually, I could just hold off. If I hold off, he'll probably be able to erase me with burn. Though I could play Thrawn, but without a land, that's not really a great plan. I could do land, go... And then if he doesn't attack, decay to end a turn, but then I kind of give up 2 damage. I think I have to just decay it and attack. This way I keep up my clock. I don't give him anything. I also could obviously play the Overgrown Tomb untapped. But if he, let's say if he, I put it tapped and then he kills the ooze, I could just play the other ooze and then remove it. So I think taking 2 is useless because the Eidolon kind of represents 1 life gain point. And just throwing away 2 life with land is against the plan. If he had Searing Blood, then that would be something, but don't expect that. Well, I think the clear play here is to attack. Remove Eidolon. I guess he might Skullcrack me. Yeah, he does. Actually, so I guess I should have Inquisition him first. Then if he Skullcracked, I could ooze in response. And if he let it resolve, then I could obviously just ooze afterwards. If he had 2 Skullcrack, then it wouldn't be relevant. So there's another Skullcrack. And I take a Shard Volley. Looks like he just... I could kill land. Don't like that play. Looks like he doesn't have much. Next turn, I could kill a white land, and then Fulminator to the other one, but he just has plenty of mana. So... Here I'm just going to use Fulminator to gain a life with my ooze. I could attack for 2, but I could also just deal a damage now and then a damage next turn by putting a counter on the ooze. And in this... This situation, I will get that counter onto my ooze to make it a 4/4. So hopefully he has no way to get rid of it. While if I put it on the other ooze, then he can maybe have more options for getting rid of him. And he scoops it up. So definitely happy to get another match win against Burn. That is always a tight match. And definitely happy to get the win. And I will like to try again. Or not try again. Try to win next round and take down the daily event with the 4-0. So check back in. And... This is Adam Yurchik for TCGplayer.com. Thanks for watching.